Hello, everybody, and welcome to Matterley Basin. It's the 71st edition of the Monster Energy FIM Motocross of Nations presented by Fiat Professional. My name is Paul Malin, Jeff Emig alongside me here, not just for this, but for the studio show and all the races on Saturday and Sunday as well. And for the first time in our history, we're covering the Riders Parade live on MXGP TV and Facebook. So enjoy however long this show lasts. But as you can see, the riders being paraded now in front of the fans on the Fiat fullback pickup trucks. And Jeff Emig, welcome to Matterley Basin. Not the first time here for you, certainly not the first time to a Motocross of Nations event as well. But this is something that we don't normally see unless you're actually at the race. So, you know, it's quite a big moment of the event itself, isn't it? You know, where the fans get to get close up with the riders, the teams that they'll be cheering on throughout the course of the weekend. Yeah, it's the pageantry that's involved with this event is something that's much different than any other event that a rider would see throughout his career or, you know, throughout the year. And, you know, for some of these riders, this is their very first Motocross of Nations, right? And so, like right now, I believe we're taking a look at
Norway here, actually. So
Norway. You know, for these riders, this might be the first time, and so the excitement that's involved here. We're moving right along to Israel here. You can see that this is where you really start to represent your country, and you've got your team clothes on, the flag, the whole thing. And so there's a lot of pride that goes into this, not just for the riders, but for the team manager and for the other team members and wives and girlfriends and family and everybody. So pretty cool part of the event. Well, obviously, while we're watching some of the guys being paraded, obviously the first team that we just saw come out there was Norway. They finished 37th last year in this event. Håkon Engen Karlsson, Kevin Horgmo, and Sander Egard Mikkelsen, the three riders there. And we're looking at Israel come out now. They finished 35th last year, or they've been given a 35th ranking. Tomer Harel, Dan Mayer, and Ziv Karmi. And for the lower teams like Iran, like Israel, you know, this might be the only little bit of TV airtime they get because of the nature of the event. It's a team event, and, you know, the qualifying races tends to lean towards, you know, the favorites in many ways. And so too the races, obviously. But Thailand, I think, or Luxembourg. Luxembourg, yeah. But as you said, you know, it's quite a nice moment. As a racer, you and I, we've been through this as well. This normally used to happen on a Sunday in the break after the free practice session before the racing began. But of course, you know, not everybody gets to experience it in the days that we did this because you know, the qualified teams got paraded. Now it's everybody that's down to ride. Well, I mean, and let's face it, it's great that with the ability of the internet, here we're taking a look at Thailand. I mean, it's probably the opposite time of day in Thailand right now, but 9 hours, I think, ahead. Yeah, and so through Facebook Live, you know, MXGP-TV.com. Okay, get all that correct. You have the ability to rewatch it if you're sleeping now, and you know, whatever the case. So it truly is a global event that way, and so it's great to be on Facebook Live for the first time here with this event, and I hope that all the fans around the world are enjoying this and getting to see what it's like here in Matterley Basin. We're about an hour or so outside of London to the west, and as you can see, there hasn't been much sun today at all, and the weather report is going to be not much sun at all for the rest of the weekend. Should be kind of just like this, so hopefully Mother Nature's good to us on Sunday. And also right now the fact that we don't have any rain, and so we get to enjoy this part of the event. You know what, just as you said that, I looked over my shoulder and a burst of sunshine over on the hillside there, over the campsite and over the
somebody turned on
area.
a light over there. That is not that was not the sun.
But having said that, you know, we had a great day yesterday up until a certain point. Then it started raining in the evening. We've had a little bit of rain up until about lunchtime today, but it's been dry. We're given a good forecast for tomorrow. And then, you know, we have I think we should catch up here. What do you think? We
Yeah.
got Luxembourg and Iceland. You want to?
We did Luxembourg, but well, Eric Tambourang, Billy Lux, and Bjorn Frank. But here is Greece. Now, I think our director and everybody there shouting in our ear like Greece, 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 because, you know, home nation and all that. Hey, Johnny. But I'm going to have a go at pronouncing some of these Greek names. He's going to give me a massive lesson really, really quickly. Yorgos Iliopoulos, I guess. Ioannis Touratsis and Emmanuel Kritikos.
That sounded correct to me.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for confirmation in my headset whether I did a good job there or must try harder or not. But yeah, the conditions out there on track. I actually did a lap on the scooter yesterday, kind of in and around the infield, crossing certain parts of the racetrack, Jeff. And the ground was nice and tacky, like very, very grippy, because the nature of the dirt here, it's clay, it's, you know, chalk and limestone underneath.
A little bit of small rock in there, a little bit of pebbles that hurts on the roost a bit.
But it dries very quickly, and we're in a shallow bowl, and so what happens is when we do get that breeze, when it's dry, it really dries out the track very, very quickly, and the track is sealed at the moment. And so, you know, from that side, if they rip it tonight or first thing in the morning, we will have a perfect racetrack for tomorrow.
And there is a bit of a new layout. There's been a few changes to the track than what we would have saw. Well, last time I was here was 2016 for the GP event. Track looks absolutely amazing. I mean, as a rider, we would be just wanting to be first practice and get right out there. So, taking a look here at some more teams.
Yeah, Ukraine just going through their riding 97, 98, 99. Dmitro Asmanov, Vladimir Tarasov, and Roman Morozov. We've seen some of those in the various championships during the course of the year and the past couple of years. So great to have them back here, the Ukrainians, for this one. Now, this looks like Latvia, and Toms Makuks, Christas Dravinskis, and Carlis Sabalis. No Pauls Jonas, the MX2 world champion. And there's a reason behind that. Basically, when he got a concussion in Loket last year, he took so much time off the bike. He actually started his training program for 2017 in the middle of September. And he's not had a break. So he's had almost 13 months on the bike training and everything else. And to sustain that for another couple of weeks didn't make sense for him. And he just needs that time out because they've got a test program coming up. They've got all that kind of thing. And, yeah, so he's taking time out. He is here, though.
Yeah, but and all that dedication to his program paid off.
Yeah.
You know, MX2 World Motocross Champion, quite an accomplishment. That was he really commanded most of the series, but it wasn't without competition for sure. It was very hotly contested competition. So, congratulations on that.
Just saw on the fullback pickup there the former rider and representative of Latvia, Matis Karo. Spoke to him earlier today. He should have raced for him this weekend, but he's done another knee injury, so not sure how long that one's going to take. I think we just saw Croatia a moment ago. Janko Martinac, Luka Kronkovic, and Matija Kalava. And didn't quite see who this one was here. We'll get a look on the flag and the signboard in a moment. But this thing happening very fast. We can't hear it in our headsets, but normally down there'll be a lot of noise, a lot of fans' participation, air horns and whistles and chainsaws normally. So I'm not sure if you can hear that at home as well, or if it's possible to hear that in our headsets if you know, if it's a silent vid, but it just depends on the trackside microphones as well, I guess.
Yeah. Great opportunity here. Fiat
so
fullback here, driving these riders around and the teams around.
We just saw Poland there, Tomasz Wysocki, Gabriel Chetnicki, and Simon Staskovic. And guys that are mostly riding in the European Championships. Wysocki rode, I think, got some points in MX2 earlier this year towards the latter stage of the season. But is this Finland? Yep. So Team Finland, we're moving on through this pretty quickly. And just trying to see where they are. Normally it's supposed to be in reverse order, but of course they are, you know, sometimes going through in the order in which they jump in the back of the pickup.
So Finland would be 27 from last year.
Yeah, so the riders there then, Juuso Matikainen, Kim Savasti, and Jari Avisto. We'll try and get this done before it gets dark, but...
Well, and I mean, we're still 2 days away from racing, and the amount of fans from all over the world, obviously we are in Britain and most of the fans are British, but I mean, they're fired up already. Every year we're here, it's like Friday morning, the energy around the pits and around the facility is like already starting to get up in the Richter scales, and you're thinking, we don't even race a main event for 2 days.
Yeah.
It's great. It's great.
Well, we will catch up with some of the riders on the more fancied teams as this goes along. We will speak to members of Team Australia and also Team Switzerland, Team Italy.
So we had Slovakia go by there.
Okay.
And then we're seeing Hungary right now.
I think you need some name practice. Are you going to tell me
Hungary?
No, Slovakians. Who are the Slovakian riders, Jeff?
Tomas Simko, Richard
Sakina,
and Tomas Kohut.
Perfect. 9 out of 10. 2 out of 3. What do you think to the new start here, by the way? Because we've got the skybox and we've got the pit lane. Everything is in a slightly different position now. The start straight remains in the same place, but they've got this BMX-style drop-in start straight now. So from that side, that's going to be a first for everybody competing around here, although we did run it at Charlotte. The MXGP of the Americas last year. Yeah. They run it in Monster Energy Cup, I believe. Something similar.
I mean, that's the thing. Monster Energy, obviously a big supporter of this event, right? Title sponsor. They really push for the track builders and the promoters to evolve the sport in ways, and so doing different things with the starting line has always produced some great results, especially because these riders wouldn't have done a start like that before. And the MXGP riders, I think, have a very unique starting technique, especially because of the metal gates that they use now.
Well, just looking at Team South Africa here, obviously they've got a great history in terms of riders in the past. But one of the guys here, Neville Bradshaw, hopefully Lisa Leyland can catch up with him when the fullback goes out of sight, because we do have headsets down there, I'm told. So hopefully we can have a four-way conversation and hear what Neville Bradshaw has to say. He'll be riding, like I say, number 75. But riders like Grant Langston, Greg Albertin, Colin Dugmore, you know, great guys that have come through as representatives for Team South Africa. Hopefully we'll be able to get in there and grab a quick word, but we're not too sure. But here is Team Brazil.
Some of the more colorful teams there. I met these guys yesterday. They're fired up about it.
Marcelo Lima, Fabio Santos, Eduardo Lima. And there was also a mechanic, Nicola, who used to wrench for the Rinaldi team. He's knocking around. We see him every year.
Yeah, but this is like Carnival in the back of a Fiat fullback right there, right?
Yeah.
All in one group.
Absolutely. And they are a good, like you say, a great addition to the Motocross of Nations as an event.
And they were 22nd last year.
Yeah. So we're cracking through these teams and pretty rapidly. And as we said, we will hope to speak to some of the nations. As you can see, some of the guys are passing really, really quickly and, probably trying to beat the dark and, moonrise.
Yeah, yeah. Well, here's an interesting team here. Very popular name here on this team.
Jan Pancha.
There you go.
Or Joni Eert.
Okay.
Maybe Tim Geiser. Anyway, here's Lisa Leyland, and she's down in pit lane. And
Neville Bradshaw from Team South Africa. You actually live in the UK, don't you? So it must be pretty special to represent in your country here.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. You know, I've been in the UK for about 12 years now, and it's like a home race for me. And then also it's kind of special getting the South African guys come over from South Africa. So all the guys I grew up with, racing with, they come over. So looking forward to a really cool weekend.
Hopefully, Neville, you can hear us. Paul Malin and Jeff Emig in here. Good to see you on the South African team again. There was a period of time where South Africa didn't send a team, so it's great to see you guys here. How proud are you right now?
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I'm so pumped that we managed to get a team together again. The guys, we just kind of put it together ourselves. I said I could organise some bikes with the contacts I've got here in the UK, and we pulled it off. And looking forward to it. The track looks really awesome, and the boys rode on Wednesday and riding good, so hopefully it's a good weekend for us.
All right, well, look, all the best this weekend.
Neville,
and great to see you.
Congratulations, good luck.
Cool, thank you. Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Yeah, Neville Bradshaw, great to see him here this weekend. Slovenia, we just saw them pass through there. Tim Geiser didn't ride last year. He did ride at Erne the year before, but of course as an MX2 world champion. His team, you know, they didn't qualify. They went to the B final. They just missed out. But Max Nagel, we'll talk to him in a moment as well. And, of course, Germany, winners back in 2012 at Lommel in Belgium in the sand. Ken Roxon was victorious with them that day, and I think it was Marcus Schiffer as well.
Well, and they had a good ride the next year, too, when they were the host country. That was a very hotly contested race also in 2013.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see what Max Nagel says. And he's obviously been a little bit down on his whole shot game this year. He was in contention for that last year, but didn't really happen. And we'll grab a word with him just as soon as he's in position, hear how he's feeling ahead of this one.
Should I take his teammates there?
Yeah, Dennis Ulrich and Henry Jacobi. Yeah.
I could have nailed those right there. I had those.
You know what? You do Portugal. One of them is real easy.
More here. More.
Well, as we take a look at Portugal, led by Rui Goncalves.
Yeah, with a C, soft C, Gonçalves.
Yeah. Paulo Alberto and Hugo Basala.
Basaula.
Yeah.
We're close. We're getting there.
Basala.
We're taking him to, we're visiting countries all over the place.
The world tour.
We will grab a quick word with Max Nagel down there. As we said, former champions, Germany. And here we go. I believe Lisa Leyland is down there.
Max Nagel from Team Germany. You were in the winning team in Lommel back in 2012. What are your chances for this weekend?
Oh, we hope we can make it for sure better than last year, because unfortunately I had the crash on Saturday and couldn't race Sunday. So the plan is for sure to make a top 10 finish. Would be great for Team Germany, and we try our best. It's a nice track here, a lot of fans coming, and going to be a nice weekend.
Hey, Max, this is Jeff and Paul. We're in the studio here. You've been known to be a whole shot specialist throughout your career, but now here for the first time, there's a new special starting line with that drop after the gate. Have you had a chance to practice anything like that, or is this just you're just gonna have to wing it once it's race time?
No, it's just going to be a big surprise for everyone, I think. That's the first time we have a start like this with the drop. It looks like a BMX start, and going to be new for everyone, and interesting what's the best tactic, like just keep the throttle open and jump down the hill, or close it a bit and try to get the rear wheel on the ground to get rear wheel traction. But yeah, let's see. Going to be a surprise for everyone tomorrow.
All right, Max.
Well,
good luck.
Max, good luck to you and Team Germany. Thank you.
So who have we got next? Team Ireland. So great to see these guys here. Stuart Edmonds, Martin Barr, who finished in the second in the Max's British Championship this year, and Graham Irwin, who was a British champion this year in the MX1 category, as it's known there. And we have these guys coming through now. This is kind of like a home nations for those guys as well.
Well, yeah, it certainly is being this close. I mean, when the Irish fans show up on race day, you know that they're here. They're waving their flags and just very, very boisterous. Yeah, it's great to have them.
Wonder if we can grab a quick word with any of the Team Ireland guys. Actually, Philip McCulloch, former racer, and it'd be interesting to see what these guys have to say as well. So get Lisa queued up down there, ready to go. But if it rains, these guys could be, you know, in their element, really, because it kind of rains over there quite a lot in Ireland.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a challenging race altogether this weekend. The track looks fantastic, and you know, these riders, they know how to ride in the rain. Sure. I mean, they're prepared. That's part of racing motocross here. And so now we take a look at the team that was 17th last year, Lithuania.
Yeah, and obviously they've had a big hit with Arminas Jasikonis.
Yep.
Had that crash in the US earlier this year at the Monster Energy MXGP of the USA at the WW ranks. What did you make to that track, by the way? Did you watch it on?
Yeah, the one in Florida. Yeah, it's well, it's certainly soft, soft and sandy, and you know, I think the fact that it was a little bit overcast, it actually could have been a lot hotter and a lot more humid than what it was. But great addition to the MXGP circuit for sure.
All right, so that's Lithuanians coming through there, and as you see from the numbers on their back, Domantas Jadauskas, Dovydas Karka, and Danas Milavicius. New Zealand, the Kiwis. So good to see these guys here. Of course, again, a great history. They've been on the podium in the past with the King brothers back in the day. Foxes, I think it was. But great to see them here. Cody Cooper, Josiah Natsky, and Hamish Harwood in MXGP, MX2, and the Open category, respectively. And the team manager, Bevan Wheel, guy I've got to know pretty well over the last 12 months or so, and he'll be managing those guys. Natsuki living over here this year, actually, riding for Hitachi KTM, the contract furniture group KTM, and be interesting to see how he does. He won a 125 European Championship round here 2 years ago, actually. So he likes this place, and he was saying he liked the changes as well.
Well, and they were 16th last year, and I think, you know, there's always those sort of echelons, the goals that the teams would set for themselves, like, hey, speed-wise, and are we a top 20 team? Are we a top 10 team? You know, just kind of kind of break it down, 10, 5, podium, can you win type of thing. And so coming off of a 16th last year, certainly for this group with Cody, Josiah, and Hamish, you know, the goal would be top 10, right? And so it takes a great individual effort from each one of the riders.
Well, Czech Republic, managed by Yuri Čepelák, and we have Filip Neugbauer, Kawasaki mounted Peter Schmidtke, and Jaromir Romanchik. And these guys, Romanchik actually, we saw him quite a bit in the MXGP Championship earlier in this year, picked up 1 or 2 little knocks, pretty much runs his own team with great backing. And good to see them here, and hopefully these guys can go directly through to the main event. And no one wants to be in the B final. No one. Not really, especially on Sunday if the rain comes.
Well, yeah, and then it's always, I mean, that's the running joke about the B final, right, is okay, you end up in the B final, but then if you have a good result, then you qualify. And, you know, it's like, the good thing is you qualified. Now you've got 3 more races. The bad thing is you qualified, and now you still have 3 more races. Yeah. Right. And at the end of the day, the hardest part of the group. But that's part of it. And so for these athletes and these teams, they want to be in the main final. And so for any of these teams that do happen to go through the B final, it's part of it.
Denmark just going through there. Nick Larsen, Thomas Kjær and Stefan Kjær. Obviously, Thomas Kjær riding Husqvarna this year, finishing 3rd in his MX2 rookie season. But just going back to the B final, while we wait for Thomas to get in here, it always amazes me because I think the qualifying race is 25 minutes plus 2, and the B final is 30 minutes plus 2. And the main race is on Sunday, 30 minutes plus 2. So it's kind of, you know, the B final is actually longer than the qualifying race on Saturday. So you're already at a disadvantage.
Yeah, and then if you're the riders that are in the first moto, right? That's back to back.
All right, so I believe we will be going down to Lisa Leyland in a moment or two. So hopefully she's down there with Thomas Kjær, 3rd overall in the World Championship. And here he is riding for Team Denmark. How's he feeling ahead of this year's event here at Matterley?
Thomas Kjær riding for Team Denmark this weekend, coming off a really strong rookie season for you. You must be feeling pretty good.
Yeah, I'm feeling great. It was a great season for me. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to come here and represent my country on such a cool circuit. It's going to be a good weekend, I think.
Thomas, Paul Malin here and Jeff Emig. What do you think to the new changes to the circuit, and how many times have you raced here before? Is it a place that you like?
The new changes look really good. Yeah, the jumps are huge and pretty technical. And I've been riding here a couple of times since 2012 actually. So I've been here a couple of times and I've seen the track change a couple of times also. So yeah, can't wait to get out there tomorrow actually.
And also, what's it like to be able to share this experience, having your brother as a teammate for this event?
That's really nice. We've done it before, actually, twice. And, yeah, it's just, I rode a lot with him, obviously, him being my brother. So, yeah, it's cool to be on the track with him. And, yeah, hopefully we can deliver a good result.
Did you guys set out any sort of little side bet between the two of you for the better result?
I guess there's always a little bit of a bet on who's going to be the best.
Good luck. Good luck, guys.
Thank you.
TK, good luck to you and Team Denmark. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, great to have him here this weekend. What a fantastic season he's had. Obviously, Rockstar Energy mounted. Yeah, just Grand Prix winner in Latvia with a 1st and a 2nd. In his first season. That's not bad.
Yeah, the team in general really was on an upswing, so they did great this year.
Team Sweden making their way through the fans here in the Fiat fullback pickup trucks. Philip Bengtsson, Alvin Osland, who finished 14th in the MX2 World Championship this year on the Khmer Yamaha, and Freddie Noren, who's been based in America riding the AMA for the last few years now. So he's mixing it with some decent guys out there, Freddie Noren.
Definitely a great team here. Jante
Engdahl,
leading the way for this group.
And yeah, I mean, obviously we're seeing how good these Fiat pickups are as well now, these fullbacks. We've got muddy conditions just off the racetrack there, and you know, these things are four-wheel drive, and they're showing they're more than a match for these tough conditions, Jeff. You just hear the squelching underneath the tires there. But the racetrack is good, though. The racetrack is dry, so hopefully we're going to be in for a good day's racing tomorrow.
The racetrack's actually the best part of the whole facility right now. So, but you can just see, right, I mean, more and more fans have made their way over there to the entrance for this presentation. I mean, the different country flags just everywhere. This is just the beginning of what this event is all about here. I mean, on Sunday, it's going to be just absolutely mad. It'll be great.
Well, here's Team Spain working their way through, led out by team manager Josep Alonso, former rider, former nations contender as well. Jose Antonio Butron, so Jose Butron, we know him as in MXGP. Jorge Prado, what a great season he's had. 7th in MX2, 3 Grand Prix victories this year on the Red Bull KTM in his rookie season as well. So he's had an outstanding season. And Ika Laranaga as well. He's been out with 1 or 2 injuries this year, but good to see him back here at Matterley.
Yeah, and you know, and speaking of the starts, I mean, Prado is he actually got the award for the most hole shots in the MX2 class this year. 14.
Yeah,
which is quite outstanding.
Only bettered by Tony Cairoli with 15. Yeah, nobody else even got a look in. So from that side, we know that that kid is going to be hot property and could be a contender for the overall class win in the MX2 category. Well, not going to be easy, though.
The folks at KTM had to be happy about that, too, right?
Yeah.
And both of their riders dominate in the whole shot divisions.
Here's Team Russia, led out by Dmitry Parshin and Evgeny Bobryshev, Evgeny Mikhailov, and Ivan Baranov. So Baranov, I think, was a late addition. And, yeah, Bobryshev, the last few years, certainly since, what, 2010 or 11, HRC, Honda mounted, but looks like he's going to be on the move from there next year. No idea where just yet. So hopefully, if he doesn't have a ride yet, or if he does, then this will be a good advert for him, put himself in the shop window.
Well, certainly if you're in that position of your career, you come here to an event like this on the world stage, and you know, there's been more than one rider that have had a great ride here and earned a new ride out of it, and we've seen some fantastic individual performances, and if you're looking for a deal for next year, this is a great place to get something done, right?
Good to see Team Canada here again. Colton Facchiotti, 4-time MX1 champion from Canada. Sean Maffenbeier, he was leading the MX2 championship earlier this year. Not sure how that played out. I'm guessing he did win that. And a 2-time MX2 champ, Tyler Medalia. And they're led out by Courtney Lloyd, I think the only female team manager in her 2nd year in the job, actually. And last year, she said that she never really enjoyed the experience. So this time around, you know, she's kind of expecting that to be the case. The riders know what they have to do. So she's just coming in here. She wants to enjoy the occasion a little bit more than she did last year.
Yeah, and I should apologize to her. She invited me to their team dinner last night. I couldn't make it, but she was sure to let me know that it was fantastic and the food was outstanding and that I really missed out on it. So I won't make that mistake again next year if the invite comes back my way.
I heard Steve Mathis went in your place, and I think he ate for both of you.
There you go.
So I don't think they didn't, you know, they didn't lose out. Team Estonia, I believe, coming up 9th overall last year, and Preet Ratsep, Harry Kulas, and Tanel Leot. Harry Kulas finished 3rd in the MX2 British Championship this year. He also ride in the MX1 category as well. But I mean, for Tanel Leot,
it's what we
17th in a row.
17th.
17
it's
in a row.
Got to be. It's already been a record.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It was a record at 15 and maybe at 14. I think Josh Coppins might be a contender, but obviously no longer riding.
Not in a row.
But 17 in a row for Tanel Leot. Yeah.
And he still is just he's amazingly fast. Yeah,
he is an animal. And just leading those guys out was Laurie Ruziorg. So good to see him here as well. But hopefully this will be another memorable occasion. He probably rode here back in 2006 as well. He was probably no, he wasn't quite at Fox's in '98, just a little bit before his time. But who is coming up next? I think we only have about 5 Fiat fullbacks down there doing the lap of the skybox and in and around the start straight area. So if it's just slowed down a little bit. Sounds like they're talking to Dean Ferris down there from Australia. So looks like we might be getting close to watching some clips and then talking to a few more guys now in the run into this opening riders presentation to the fans, Jeff Emig. But tell you what, the track looks absolutely fantastic. And,
yeah, this gives you a good look there at the Monster Energy starting line there, just how much that drop is.
Well, this is Team Australia. We're getting ready to see these guys come through any moment now. But their last podium was back in 2011 with that guy there, Chad Reed, with Matt Moss and Brett Metcalf. And, you know, it'd be great to see them again. Getting somewhere close. They have been sort of top fivers, but I think they've got a really good team this year with Dean Ferris, multi-time national Australian champion now, Hunter Lawrence, who finished 9th in MX2 this year for Suzuki World MX2, and Kurt Gibbs, who finished 2nd to Dean Ferris in the MXoN National Championship at home. And he was saying in the press conference today, Jeff Emig, that, you know, on his day, he knew he could run Dean's pace. And Dean finished 2nd in an AMA race earlier this year when he came over for that one-off round. We've seen what he can do at the Motocross of Nations as well. Germany springs to mind.
Wow, that ride that Dean Ferris put in Germany, 2013, correct?
Yeah,
just outstanding. His starts were just amazing, and so if he can duplicate that here again this weekend, I mean, this is definitely have a chance at top 5 or maybe even a podium.
I mean, this is just footage from the last time that Australia got on the podium, and the next archive footages that we get are going to be a mixture of those things. But it was a great occasion for him in France.
Yeah, this team, of course, led by Gary Bin once again, and then once again this year they have Michael Byrne as the assistant team manager. Lots of great guidance there for him. So.
Be interesting to see. That was a great day. And incidentally, that was the last USA win as well. So we're getting ready to cue Lisa up down.
Thanks for pointing that out.
No, but, you know, the last couple of years,
facts, right?
You know, the last couple of years, America have come so close. Should have won it, actually, on 2 occasions. But as you say, you got to cross the line to win it.
In GB, it's been a while.
It's been even longer. Just throw that one in there.
No, it's. I mean, that's. Yeah, it's time for our boys to step up and get another win. That's what it's all about right there.
All right. Here's Lisa, and who is she with from Team Australia?
Hunter Lawrence from Team Australia. This is your first Motocross of Nations, isn't it? So you must be feeling pretty excited.
Yeah, super pumped. You know, it's so sick here with the big grass hills, and yeah, track looks picturesque and perfect, and yeah, English fans I think so far out of all the nations, this one's like already on pre-sold tickets, the biggest. So it's awesome to have like my First Nations at such a crazy venue. I'm super keen. We have an awesome team, so I'm pumped.
G'day, Hunter. Paul Malin here with Jeff Emig. How cool is it coming into this race, having won the final moto of the year in MX2 2 weekends ago?
Yeah,
for your confidence.
Yeah, pretty sick. It's pretty good, you know. It's yeah, awesome to win the last moto. That's you're only as good as your last race. So yeah, it's cool.
Well, and of course, you guys are led by Gary Bin and Michael Byrne as the assistant team manager. What sort of you know, experience are they trying to pass on to you, being a rookie in this event?
Yeah, Gary and Michael, you know, I don't know them all that great, but yeah, it's cool. They're good guys. We've chatted the past 2 days, so it's good. Not so much advice yet, as it's just relaxed at the moment, but I'm sure they'll have a lot to say when racing comes, you know, which is awesome. I want to be like a sponge and just soak up all the info I can get, so I don't screw it up for the team or something. But yeah, we'll see.
What sort of expectations have you guys set out for yourselves as a team as far as the finish?
Yeah, for everyone back home, you know, it'd be awesome to put it on the podium, but under the tent, we're going for the win, you know. It's where everyone is, but it'd be awesome. I think we remain optimistic, and I think a podium is possible, you know. Anything can happen here, and I think we have a really strong team, maybe the strongest since 2011 when we were last on the podium. So yeah, we just keep our heads screwed on and do the best we can do, and I think top 5 or podium is possible.
All right, good luck.
Good
to
luck.
you and Team Australia.
Cheers, mate. Thanks.
So that was Team Australia. Here's Team Switzerland.
Wow.
And what a great team. Last year they were potential contenders for certainly a podium, possible win as well. And they have the same team, and they are now under the watchful eye of Mark Ristori, former racer and former Nations rider as well, I believe. But last year, this was great.
Last year in Maggiore Park in Italy, all of these races were absolute nail-biters. Switzerland, in this final race, had riders in the position for a podium. And just, I think the individual effort that Tonis, Gio, and Seaward put out last year was just outstanding. Unfortunately, they came home in 6th. Of course, this was such a competitive race last year. But coming back with the same team again, the experience, all 3 riders are riding at some of the highest levels of their career. Yeah. So you certainly have to have some high expectations.
Well, obviously I did the press conference, you know, an hour before we came on live here for this show, and I asked Arno Tonis how much did he enjoy riding for Switzerland last year, and he said, you know, it's probably one of the most fun races he'd had racing a motorcycle. I guess the track, the way that he rode, the fact that it was for Switzerland, and
this track won't be much different either.
No,
it's going to be similar.
He was looking forward to it, but I think we're getting ready to talk to Lisa and Valentin. Gio.
Valentin Gio from Team Switzerland, you are back on an MX2 bike this weekend, and it's actually also a great track for you as well because you won a GP here back in 2015 as well, didn't you?
Yeah, exactly. I had a big battle with Jeffrey Erlings in 2015, and was great memories. Hoping to have the same racing with those guys here all weekend, having a good feeling. I really enjoyed the track. They make a great preparation, and yeah, we'll see. Having fun and good racing.
And obviously, Valentin, when you raced here in 2015, the track was a little bit different. You like the new changes they've made? Paul Malin, by the way.
Yeah, I recognize. Yeah, really nice. You know, I think they make a great job. Also, like they took off like I really hate the jumps when you cross the starting line and you make the triple down. I really hate it. I was always scared when I jump it. Now it's more nice. I prefer, and all the new parts is really good. So hoping, yeah, really looking forward to ride tomorrow.
Looking to have some fun on that 250.
Yeah, exactly. Making some big whips, and we'll see that.
All right. Congratulations on being selected. We'll see you over the weekend.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Valentin.
So moving up through the list, this should be Team Italy. And Tony Carolyn, 9-time world champion now, Jeff Emig, the Red Bull KTM Factory rider, joined by Alessandro Lupino and Michele Chervelin, and led out by Thomas Traversini, former racer as well. The last time they got on the podium was here, back in 2013 at Teushenthal, and it doesn't happen that often for them, but, you know, they did a great job. I think they've had 1 win, 3 seconds, and 2 thirds in their history. So not major podium contenders, but the nature of the Motocross of Nations event, you and I know a lot is luck-based. You need 5 good scores from the 3 motos.
And the 6 results, yeah, there's Thomas there in the middle, team manager. But, I mean, when you have somebody like Caroli on the team, knowing that he has the ability and the speed to possibly go win both motos, right? I mean, obviously it's going to be super competitive, but, I mean, let's face it, he's the 9-time world champion. He's the reigning, you know, MXGP world champion again, and so that gives the team a lot of confidence. And so for Chervelin and Lupino, that should pull them up and say, okay, look, we need to band together. We got to give it their best result, and try not to make any big mistakes, because I do believe that the winning score this year is going to be a big number. Yeah. I do believe that we're going to see some very competitive racing, and anything can happen, and would be a nice way to cap off the season that Tony Caroli has had, for sure, with a win or even a podium here. And
Alessandro Lupino has had some standout rides this year where he's been mixing it inside the top 10. But Michele Chervelin was 12th overall in MX2 this year in the World Championship. 2nd time on the Nations for him now, and I know he's looking forward to it. He says he's 100% ready to go because he had an injury a few weeks ago. And he also won the MX2 title in Italy last week. So he feels ready. And like I say, there are some key players out of MX2 not here. But let's go down to Lisa.
Tony Carolyn from Team Italy. Yourself and Alessandro Lupino both were on the podium in Germany in 2013. Just tell us, what do you think your chances are for this weekend?
Yes, we are very happy, to be again on the team, with a good team, I think, and I think it's very difficult race. So many teams this year can fight for the podium, because I think gonna be very close between everybody. So we try to finish on the podium. That's our goal, and just enjoy the racing, and hopefully not too much rain will come, and the track will be nice to ride and fun.
Tony, you got Jeff Emig and Paul Malin here in the studio. So you led the way in the MXGP with 15 hole shots this year, right? But now there's a different starting line, a different gate with this drop. And, of course, you're on that KTM 450. Is it going to have to change your technique up a bit for that? Have you spent much time looking at it or even practicing something like that?
No, actually, no practice at all. But we are very confident that we can have a good start, and but this is important, to have a right choice, for the team, and to put on the inside. I know this is a start where you can start, you can get all shot even from quite far, because it's a very nice wide corner. But we're gonna try to focus on a team result this weekend, and see what's the best. I will do my best to have a good start and try to all shot and do my best. But we will see.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thanks, Tony. Good luck to you and Team Italy.
And he mentioned there, Jeff, you can start from anywhere here, even on the outside. For tomorrow, the qualifying positions that the riders line up on the gate is all determined by the ballot. We'll talk more about that on the studio show tomorrow, which incidentally goes 9:15. We are live on MXGP TV until 10, so a 45-minute studio show. Our guests are Dean Ferris from Team Australia, Zach Osborne, Team USA, Dean Ferris, Team GB. We have two-time world champion Sebastian Tortelli, and we have Brock Glover coming in to join us as well, a former US winner in the Motocross of Nations and American legend.
Well, and now here we go, one of the most dominant teams in the history, the 71 years of the Motocross, 70 previous to now.
They've been on the podium
Belgium
56 times.
56 out of 70 Motocross of Nations. Belgium has been on the team. Of course, they're led by Joel Smets, rider that we both raced against. There, he's the team manager, and he's got Jeremy Van Horbeck, Julian Lieber, and Kevin Strybos back.
Strybos getting the late call-up because of the injured Clement de Sal. Brent Van Donnick actually coming into MX2 in for the injured Lieber. That was a last-minute thing, actually, just a couple of days ago. So just like last year for Brent Van Donnick. But Van Donnick last year was riding a 450, a little bit out of his comfort zone.
This was an amazing year there in Germany. Just an outstanding race, and for them to hoist the Chamberlain Trophy, you could tell as a team they were just, it was a job well done. Of course, Jeremy Van Horbeck would have been on that team. Yeah. So, and he's back again this year.
And as we said, 15 wins at the moment, 23 second place finishes, 17 thirds. If they win this weekend, Jeff, they tie Great Britain on 16 and go second in the all-time win list. America, of course, on 22, I believe. But we're getting ready to go back down to the pit lane area. Lisa Leyland is going to talk to one of the members from Team Belgium. It'll be the youthful Kevin Strybos. Here he is.
Kevin Strybos from Team Belgium. Team Belgium is one of the most successful nations here. 15 wins you guys have had. Last were on the podium, or last on the top of the box, 2013. What are your chances for this weekend? You guys feeling confident?
Yeah, for sure. I think every year it's a nice race, and we have a good team again, so hopefully we can go for the podium. And if we get some luck, if the rain comes down a bit, I think it's in our favor, and we can hopefully we can get on the top step.
Hi, Kevin. Paul Malin here, and Jeff Emig. You just mentioned the rain, how that would favor you. You think the more technical the racetrack, the better it will be for Team Belgium?
Yeah, for sure. I think so. I think we can get a bit more lines, and it will be a bit more same as in Belgium or Holland. So yeah, hopefully a little bit of rain will be good for us.
Kevin, you ride like you're just a day over 21, but for sure you're one of the more experienced riders here. What's this like, you know, having another Motocross of Nations team invite and being back here for the 71st Motocross of Nations?
Yeah, it's just nice, you know. I turned 32 this year, so I'm getting quite old, but hopefully I can do a few more years, or at least 1 or 2, you know. That.
Kevin, I thought you were 108 years old.
Yeah, almost.
Okay, well, look, Kevin, good luck to you and Team Belgium this weekend. Maybe see you back on the box at the end of it all on Sunday.
All right, thank you.
Good luck, buddy.
Thanks.
He's not 108?
I thought he was 21, but
okay.
he's somewhere in the middle. But nonetheless, I mean, former world champion, I mean, the guy can ride, and he's great off the starts also. So I'm really interested to see how some of these start specialists, if they adapt to this new start, if it makes a difference or not. So.
And it's his 7th Nations appearance for Kevin Strybos, a winner, of course, in 2004 in Lyrop, so 13 years ago. And that was his first attempt, actually. That was his first Nations. But here we are. We're expecting Team USA. Roger DaCosta, the man, getting ready. And 22 wins for these guys.
Yeah, 22 wins. And there was at a time last year when we were in Italy that we thought this was going to be 23 because that team last year was right in there. And they ended up 3rd overall. Here, let's take a look at it right here.
This is their last victory, actually, back in 2011 at Saint-Jean-d'Angely. The team were immaculate that day. Ryan Dungey, Blake Baggett, and the little guy there, Ryan Villapoto.
Yeah.
And but, you know, 2012, we went to Lommel. They were on the podium in the sand there. They spent actually probably the longest time getting ready for that one. The win never quite happened. Because obviously you know what the sand's like at Lommel. 13 in Germany, they came up short. There was the crash with Tomac. How much did that hurt them? 14, I think, was probably the one year that actually the result was a fair result. You know, just I thought it was a tough weekend for them.
Yeah.
But the last 2 years, I think 15 in Erne, 16 last year certainly, they should have won it.
Yeah, and the interesting thing about this year is that all of the riders that are on the team, we got Cole Seeley, Zach Osborne, and Thomas Covington, led by Roger DaCosta, of course. They've never been on this team before. Now, Zach Osborne has ridden this event for Team Puerto Rico, which is a Commonwealth of the United States. But riding for Team USA, they are all rookies. And
he did that also in Denver.
Yeah, and so Cole Seeley and Thomas Covington have never experienced this event as an athlete. So a lot of pressure, a lot of pride. Of course, the man, Roger DaCosta, has had Motocross of Nations rides as a racer, and now, of course, been team manager for Team USA many times.
Yeah, and just going back to, you know, last year, you know, you and I were pretty speechless at what happened with Jason Anderson in that second moto. He just crossed the line and then got took out, couldn't start the last race. All the pressure was on Cooper Webb. They came to within a lap and a half of taking home the trophy.
Yeah, and that really has been the story since this last win. It's been so close so many times. This year, when you look at all of the lineup sheets, you know, it's pretty balanced. It's going to be a competitive weekend, and the boys here from the United States are going to have to be at their very best if they want to be on the podium or even win.
But this track looks like it could suit them. Certainly they won here in 2006, the last time it was here. But Lisa Leyland's down in pit lane. Let's hear who she's getting ready to talk to from Team USA.
I'm with Cole Seeley from Team USA. Cole, this is a big weekend for you. It's your first time at the Nations. It's your first time racing in Europe. And it's actually the first time you've ever been to Europe, isn't it? So it's a lot of firsts this weekend.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've said it the whole time leading up to this. I'm going to really rely on my teammates and Roger DaCosta to kind of guide me through this whole thing. Completely different format that I'm used to, different start gate, different, I don't know, everything's different. So, but the track looks awesome. It looks like it's got an awesome flow. I wish we had a track like this in America, but you know, it's such an honor to be here, and the fans here are insane. So I've had a lot of fun kind of interacting with them.
Hey, Cole, you got Jeff Emig and Paul Malin here in the studio. I know getting used to driving on the left side of the road was a little bit weird for you. I just want to let you know that on the track, you can go on the left, the right, the middle, wherever you want to go, okay? I'm just pointing that out.
All right, just not backwards.
That's right.
Yeah, no, it's been weird. I keep wanting to go, like, when I make a right turn, I want to go on the wrong side of the road. So
yeah,
maybe let somebody else drive then. Here, it's time to do a job here. So
yeah, for sure.
We'll let you get on and focus, but all the best, Cole, and the rest of the guys at Team USA.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Best of luck.
Yeah, I think, you know, there's a lot of people giving Team USA a little bit of criticism in saying it's a weak team, but I don't think it's a weak team. Cole can put in a good performance. Thomas, we know what he can do. You know, he's won Grand Prix this year in MX2 and in the past. And Zach arrives here as a national champion in MX2, and I think the nature of the event, you know, when you look at it on paper, is there a really strong standout team this year, Jeff? Are they kind of very much in the mix? I think they are.
Yeah, I mean, certainly they are. And then, I mean, if there was, it would be this next team here coming up, Netherlands. Marcel Hartmann, of course, leading the way, and Glenn Koldenhoff, Brian Bogers, and Jeffrey Hurlings. I mean, on paper, this seems to be the strongest team. But, of course, you know, the one thing that for all of these teams that have had, like, injuries and they have replacement riders in, for Team USA, I'm not bothered by what the name is that they've plugged in play, right? I want the athlete to really want to be here. I want them to have the desire, the determination, because I think that so many of these riders are talented, and they can, even if you're the guy that, hey, we're just going to take one of my scores, like, you can do that. But when you do look at the teams on paper and you're trying to you know, assess and predict the competition, the Netherlands here is outstanding. And same team as last year, right? And they were so close. They were second last year. 1 point. Yeah, by 1 point. They've never won this event, correct? And so also being, you know, they have Jeffrey Hurlings riding the open class for him. Koldenhoff's is great off the starts. Bogers has had a great year also. This could be a really strong team, and I guess we'll have to see how the times are early on to see if it's going to be a legit favorite.
Jeffrey Hurlings wheelied into that final turn thinking he may have just won the Motocross of Nations for the Netherlands with his teammate Glenn Koldenhoff in the final moto, but Romain Fevre found his way past Tommy Searle on the final half lap and nailed it for France for the third consecutive time. Like I say, no wins for the Netherlands. They've been second on 5 occasions and third on 5 occasions as well. But Jeffrey Hurlings is getting ready to speak to Lisa Leyland in pit lane. Let's hear what he has to say.
Jeffrey Hurlings from Team the Netherlands. Last year in 2016, you guys were the runner-up, missed out by just 1 point. So I'm guessing you have unfinished business this weekend.
Definitely. You know, it's a pleasure to come here. We have a strong team, the same team. I feel we all a little bit better than we were last year, but definitely the competition already. They will probably also step it up. So it's a track I really like. So hopefully my teammates are good, and hopefully the weather doesn't come into play. Hopefully it stays a bit dry, and definitely just go out, do our best. That's all we can do, and very excited about the race on Sunday. And yeah, it's going to be the last race of the season for me, so try to hang it all out.
Jeffrey, you got Jeff Emig and Paul Malin in the studio here. So obviously we just saw some video of you guys on the podium last year. You're very proud of the result. You were so close to winning, but when it was said and done and you went back home and you thought about it and you go, wow, second was great, but winning, if we could win it, like, has that been something on your mind for the last 363 days?
100%, my man. It's like, you know, when you get second, it's like, you prefer to get like 6 or 7 instead of second. And especially second with one point. And then leading till the last lap, it's devastating. But it's a team event, so everybody's like, oh, if you didn't crash with Anderson, you might have won the moto, you might have won. But like, if you know, if one of my teammates did a little better result, it would have been the same thing. But we got second last year, and like I said, this year is redemption, and we can only do our best, and, you know, we'll see how it goes, you know.
Jeff, just real quick, one of the times that stands out for me, oh, bless you. One of the times that stands out for me, Jeffrey, 2012, the GP here with Tommy Searle. You know what this English crowd can be like, this British crowd. Are you expecting a little bit more volume from them this weekend?
I actually hope they're supporting for me this time instead of being against me like they were at the time. But no, I mean, I love coming here, like, with the British fans. At that time we had some rivalry with Tommy, but like lately We're all good.
Yeah.
Me and the fans are all good.
All right. Well, look, all the best to you and Team Netherlands.
Thank you so much, Paul.
Good luck.
So, Team France, just 2 more teams to come, Jeff. Team France, the defending champions, and the host nation, Team Great Britain, and 6 guys that are more than capable of getting a result here this weekend for various reasons. But looking at Team France, they had 2 last-minute changes with the MX2 guys. Pascal Finot, the team manager, kind of had his work cut out, didn't he? Because initially, alongside Gautier Paulin and Romain Febvre, they put Dylan Ferrandis. He went and got hurt.
He got injured.
Then they decided, you know what, we'll bring in Benoit Paturel, who was
on the team last year.
And he was a winner as well. But then here's a compilation of the past 3 nations victories, starting in Latvia 2014, Ernée at home in France, and Majura last year for Team France, who have been the dominant nation over the last 3 years in terms of
straight years
on paper. But last minute, again, Christophe Charlier coming in, a former race winner around here, actually. In 2013, he won the 2nd moto in MX2. And he's had a year in Enduro, in the Enduro World Championship, riding for Rockstar Energy Husqvarna. He's kept himself in shape. And taking that year out, is he going to be the weak link? He thinks not. He's coming here arriving with confidence. It's his 2nd Motocross of Nations appearance. But is there a question mark over the supremacy of France coming into this one or not?
I don't think so, because with a Charlier, you just plug and play a rider that's been here before, and it was 13. He was on the team in
13.
Latvia.
No, in 13.
13.
Charlier, yeah.
Charlier, yeah. And so if anybody's ever ridden an Enduro before, you know that you have to be tough to win those things.
Sure.
So just because he hasn't been racing the GP circuit doesn't mean that he hasn't been riding a motorcycle, and doesn't mean that he doesn't know how to ride motocross anymore. I mean, the guy's amazing rider.
Yeah.
And so that just shows some of the depth that they have in France, and that, yeah, it's an interesting choice, but I look for him to do a great job this weekend. So to me, they're one of the strongest teams for sure.
And Charlier is an ISD gold medal winner as well. So the International 6 Days Enduro, he pulled it through there for Team France. But
and so if he gets a flat, he can change his own tire.
Exactly. Here's Gautier Paulin with Lisa.
Gautier Paulin from Team France. You guys have had the Chamberlain Trophy for 3 years now in a row. There's a lot of expectations. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling really good, actually. After this GP season, it has been great. Feeling really good with the guys. We have been training on Ernest's track for 2 days in a row. There is a good atmosphere. Christophe is really happy riding the 250 Husky for Team France. And with Romain, we have also a good relationship. And now season is over. Yeah. Now we are teammates. And there is definitely a good synergy between us. And looking forward for this weekend. A lot of motivation we have to defend our colors.
Hey, Gautier, Jeff Emig and Paul Malin in the studio. 3 straight wins. You've always seemed to find some way to have just an outstanding ride at this event. What is it? How do you rise to the occasion with this?
I feel happy, riding this race. It's always such a cool event. We get off from our routine. It's an individual sport, and now cheering with the teammates, being there, defending your country, gives you also the power also to do something good on. You only have 1 day. You only have 2 motos. You only have 1 chance, and you need to give that extra. You need, I think, to get sometimes the risk that gives you the results. Sometimes it's not possible, sometimes it is. We have been winning 3 years in a row. It doesn't mean that we will be winning this weekend, but definitely we will fight hard for it and fight for those colors.
Well, it's obviously a racetrack. You were on the podium here in the past, Gautier. So just really quickly, what are your thoughts on the new changes to the layout?
Really good. I really love the track. When I walked the track this morning, awesome. Really long, nice start, something different, something that gives us something different for the public, something different for the rider. It is really good. I think it's a really good idea. Ground looks good. The rain we've got, doesn't look so bad at the moment. Looks actually really good. The track will be perfect tomorrow morning. This is the only thing we cannot control. It's the weather. Hopefully it's going to be with us to have a better racing. But anyway, the organization has been really good. The track, there is many jumps, long track, awesome. I really want to ride and want to be tomorrow morning to get on the track.
Well, I'm sure you'll look great as always out there, and you'll put on a show for the fans. Good luck for you and Team France for the rest of the weekend.
For who you are cheering, Paul? For France?
Of course, of course.
It should be noted, he will be.
And you, Jeff.
Yeah, he gets to ride bike number 1. You guys are the champs. You're on bike number 1, so
let's cheer for that flag.
Vive la France!
Even Lisa, she's for us.
Yeah,
exactly.
Team France all the way.
Thank you.
Okay, have a good weekend.
Thanks, Gautier.
There's a guy who looks relaxed.
Ah, man, he's such a great personality, and he just brings a confidence to this event, like with the wins, and he's just had outstanding rides here in this event too, with the 3 wins. So,
but he will, he'll relish getting around this place tomorrow and on Sunday as well, no doubt about it. It's got his name written all over it, this kind of racetrack. But
one team left. I wonder who that could be.
Well, host nation always comes out last, and these guys led out by Mark Chamberlain, first year in the job for him, and Mark Chamberlain and his family, they've been around the job for many, many years. I first met them in 1990, 91, but the place is going to erupt for these guys, of course, Tommy Searle, Dean Wilson, and Max Anstey. And for these guys, Tommy Searle came here, this is his 11th Motocross of Nations now, Tommy Searle. He actually rode here back in 2006. He's finished 4th on 3 occasions. Max Anstey's best result for Team GB is a 7th. Dean Wilson has finished 4th in the past for Team GB. And again, I think that's his 4th Nations. But they will love this place. Max Anstey was born in Winchester, just down the road. He grew up 20 minutes from here. So he knows this place. This is quite literally a home nation. And they look relaxed. They look relaxed in the press conference. But it has been a long time since they won it. This was from Latvia when they got in 4th. You got Tommy Searle here riding the MX2 class, which he won actually in Latvia in 2014. And Dean Wilson just ahead of him here was riding the big bike that day. And they were just let down by a mechanical issue, a chain brake. Remember, Sean Simpson, just as he dropped into the pit lane area.
Well, and that's part of it, right? That's, I mean, this race has produced just some such dramatic highs and lows, right?
I mean, that day they tied with the US, 3rd overall, and lost it on countback. So again, when you talk of like podiums that America have had in the past and podiums that GB should have had, they've not had a podium GB since 1997 at Belgium in Nîmes. I think you were there that day in the mud.
Yeah, I have erased that day from my memories. So.
Belgium won that day, huh?
Yeah, it wasn't us. It was not Team USA. My son, John Dowd and Steve Lamson and myself had a rough go of it.
Well, look, here's Tommy Searle. That was him collecting the gold plate as class winner in Latvia 2014 in MX2. But who has Lisa Leyland got down there with her in pit lane? We'll find out in just a moment or two. But here we go.
Max Anstey from Team GB. This is your host nation. You've got a lot. You know this track really well. It's pretty much in your back garden. You were born in Winchester. You must be feeling pretty excited about this weekend.
Oh, it's unreal. We've just driven around on the car, and the fans are already going crazy. And it's going to be an amazing experience. I want to just focus on my thing and focus on my race, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. These guys are going absolutely crazy. So, no, I'm going to have a good time and take it all in. It's a once-in-a-lifetime thing, and to be here at Matley Basin, Team GB, MXoN, it's going to be unreal.
Max, Paul Malin and Jeff Emig here in the studio. There's obviously a sense of history possibly here. Obviously you want to get on the podium, you'd like to win. The last time was 94, 20 odd years ago now. It's getting on a bit. Are you ready to end that drought?
Wow, yeah, exactly. That's the plan. That's the plan, and what a place to do it. I think it would be unreal. I know we've got to focus on our own races and put our best results. Focus on ourselves, and hopefully, all 3 of us can have solid rides. But I think we are. Honestly, we're all riding real well. We're all strong now, and yeah, let's do it. Let's get up there.
Hey, Max, I notice you guys have been spending a lot of time riding together, spending time together, trying to develop that sort of chemistry and bond. What's that been like this last, it's almost been a couple weeks, yeah?
Yeah, well, Tommy and Dean have been riding together for a little while. I was after France. I had to do some testing with the team for a week, and then I came over beginning of this week. So I've had this week riding with the guys, and we went out for dinner. We've all stayed together, and to be honest, actually, Mark's done a really good job. Mark Chamberlain's done a good job, and we've made the best of every situation. We know it's been stressful here. It's home nations for us all, but it's been sick, and to be honest, getting along with Dean, you know, I used to know him when we were racing amateurs in America, and that was cool to catch up with him on loads of stuff. And you know, we've all been through the same thing. That was the main thing I learned from this week is we've all had ups and downs. You know, Tommy's had a tough year with injuries. Dean's had a last few years with injuries, and it's been tough. But you know, we're all putting in 100%. We're all going up and down in our careers, and now it's just nice to spend some time with the guys and get to know them and know that, yeah, we're going to go and race our hearts out for the nation.
So just one last question, right? I mean, all of the commotion around Team GB, right, the host country, at what point do you get to stop with all of the you know, dealing with the fans and just get into your zone? Is it really just going to not be until the first moto, or is it Saturday, tomorrow midday? Like, when do you think you're going to be able to just kind of, you know, funnel out all of that excitement?
Well, you know, I've stuck to my program. I've stuck to my program all week with what I've needed to do with my training and how I feel. So I mean, I'm all up together today. I've done everything. So these are all just bits of fun for me. I've got everything dialed in, everything set like any other GP. So I think, you know, tomorrow, okay, yeah, there's going to be fans and there's going to be things to do, but at the end of the day, I'm here to do a job and here to get the job done, and that's what I'm here to do.
Just final question from me. I heard you got stuck in traffic today. Are you going to set the alarm a little bit earlier tomorrow and get here on time?
Yeah, I'm first out, so yeah, I know it's going to be crazy busy and things, but yeah, I'll be here early. Don't worry.
All right. Well, look.
Good luck.
Wish you all the best.
Yep.
Thank you, guys. Cheers for everything.
No
Have
problem.
a good one, Max. Thank you.
Well, obviously that was the team's presentation. I was sure there was one more. Yeah, I thought there was one more clip coming. Christian, one of our producers next door, said there was another clip. I think it's more from a trip down memory lane for both of us, actually.
Let's take a look at it.
Let's take a look.
Oh,
you
boy.
remember that first corner?
Here
look how far back we were in the first couple of corners.
Well, I wasn't as far back as you were, and when I watched the race back,
That's me.
Yeah.
It was a gnarly old track, though, wasn't it, Roggenburg?
It was as rocky as it comes. It really was something, and we had a good battle that day. Paul just put it to me. And this was your sort of quintessential English countryside track, even though this was in Switzerland. But
it's the Kidrowski. But yeah, an interesting race. England or Great Britain hadn't won for 27 years. I think this was the second moto. So Steve Dixon. This was me coming over the line in 5th, I think, that day in the second moto to win the class.
Which would have been first 125, right?
And I think you sort of show up in a moment now. I know we did the congratulatory hug just after this race, which was nice little bit of sportsmanship there. What was going through your mind right there?
Well, that was our second moto, right? So
Yeah.
at this point, the third moto hadn't been done. When we rode 125, I don't know who that guy with the long hair was, but you know, when back in those days, you ride the 125, right? Your first two motos are over, and now you watch this final race. So at that point, I was still hopeful, but this is the point here when Herring and Nickel and yourself hoisted the Chamberlain Trophy, and I mean, we've talked about this many times. This was probably for myself my toughest defeat.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. In my career, yeah, it was rough. I cried after that race.
So did I.
2 different reasons.
With probably with Graham Noyce at about sort of 3 o'clock in the morning, maybe.
Yeah. But that's what this event can mean to these riders here this weekend. There's a lot of emotion, a lot of pride that goes into it, and a lot of work that goes into a lot of sacrifice. And you heard those riders like Gautier. I mean, he's pointing at his flag, and it really means something to him to represent his country. So
sure. Well, look, Jeff and I, we're out of time here on MXGP TV and Facebook Facebook, of course. But we'll be back tomorrow with our studio show, 9:15. As we mentioned already, we've got Dean Ferris coming in from Team Australia, Zach Osborne, he'll be guest number 2 for Team USA, then Dean Wilson, Team GB, Sebastian Tortelli will be here as well, and Brock Glover, former winner for Team USA as well. And I think in the final part of the program, we'll be talking about the ballot and how important that is ahead of the qualifying races, because that goes at 9 o'clock in the morning, so it might not be completely done and dusted by the time we get on air for the studio show. And that could be a game changer in terms of how the qualifying races pan out in terms of the grid positions for Sunday's main races.
It's always exciting, especially when a favorite gets the first pick and then one of the other favorites is like 39th.
Yeah.
It adds some drama.
And, of course, tomorrow looks like it's going to be a good day. Sunday could be, I don't know. There could be a little bit of precipitation in the air.
Could be English weather.
Yeah, so that could also be a game changer, but we'll get tomorrow out of the way first. But Jeff Emig, thanks for joining us here and, yeah, making a little bit of history today with the first ever live broadcast of the Riders Parade, the team presentation to the fans. Hope you enjoyed it. We did. There was obviously lots to talk about. Thanks to the riders who joined us as well during the broadcast and Lisa down there in pit lane. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 9:15, bright and early. Enjoy the show tomorrow. We'll see you then. Bye for now.